Oh, fuck. Oh, hello.
We can hear you, Art.
I can't see any of you.
Okay, so turn your camera. Yeah, well, we can see your feet.
You can see my feet.
Yeah, turn your camera around.
How do you do that?
There should be. Okay, if you click on the little video, it should say surface camera front. I think that's what it is.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
Let me get
Now we don't see.
back.
Okay.
That stops video. I don't know what button to press. I'm running out of buttons.
Okay. Well, your video doesn't have to be on if you just want to listen. Can you see anything?
I can see you.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine. I mean, we just can't see you, but that's fine. We know you're there.
Well, I wonder what's not going on here, though. So,
There should be a button that says front or rear. It should be on front. The little arrow next to the video.
hold on a minute. Let me find the little video thing. I'm going out and try to come back in.
All right.
Not won't even let me in. Huh.
We can still hear you.
Well, but I can't even get the Zoom to come up now. Huh.
Well, we can hear you. So can you still see me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you anymore.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll just have to listen along.
Okay.
Art, what computer are you using?
Art, what computer are you using?
I'm using my laptop.
Is it a Mac or is it like a Microsoft or what is it?
It's one that I've never had. I've never had this. I've never had this before.
It says iPad on his
Yeah, it's an iPad.
picture.
Director Welch, if you press the home button twice really fast, it might pop up all your open windows and you can reselect Zoom.
Home button. Where's the home button?
The round button at the bottom of the iPad.
Well, that just gives me a control center, home. Let me see if that works.
You're still in the meeting. I think it's just minimized.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Well, if you want somebody to mess up a computer, you got him.
Well, we can hear you, so you can listen along, and then when Joan calls your name, or if you have a comment, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Shoot.
Are we ready, Joan?
Yes, Chair Moore, we are.
Okay, great.
Yes, we do have enough folks on the line.
Okay. I would now like to call the Board Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order at 2 p.m. Thank you for joining the Board Budget and Finance Committee meeting today, Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. Before we begin with today's business, please ensure that you are in a quiet environment with no background noise, and please mute your device until called upon by the chair or the clerk to speak. Will the clerk please read the special notice?
On September 16, 2021, Governor Newsom signed Assembly Bill number 361 that amends and extends certain Brown Act requirements pertaining to telephonic conferencing of local government meetings through January 1, 2024. As such, RTA has opted to conduct the June 1, 2022 committee meeting via teleconference. Participants can participate via teleconference in each participant's own office home area, which will not be made physically accessible to the public.
Thank you, Joan. For today's meeting, we will take roll call. Will the clerk please take roll call?
City of Wildemar,
Here.
City of Beaumont, City of Calamasa,
Here.
City of Canyon Lake,
Canyon Lake is here.
City of Hemet,
Here.
City of Lake Elsinore,
Here.
City of Norco,
Here.
City of Temecula,
Temecula's here.
and County of Riverside District 5.
Here.
Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Joan. Members, please remember to remute your device. Will the clerk please take attendance of RTA staff?
Kristen Warsinski. Here. Charlie Ramirez.
Here.
Tom Franklin.
Here.
Laura Camacho.
Here.
Rick Kazarowski.
Here.
Jim Meekins.
Here.
Melissa Blankenship.
Here.
Stephanie Searles.
Here.
Robert Fernandez.
Here.
Albert Jimenez.
Here.
Jennifer Wen.
Here.
Brad Weaver.
Here.
Yesenia Felix. Here.
Thank you, Joan. Next is item 3, public comments for non-agenda items. Will the clerk please read the directions for public comments?
Members of the public may address the board regarding any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. However, no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. Comments shall be limited to matters not listed on the agenda. Members of the public may comment on any matter listed on the agenda at the time that the board considers that matter. Each person's presentation is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes.
Has the clerk received any requests in writing?
No, Chair, I have not.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make comments on items not listed on the agenda? Hearing none, the public comment portion for items not listed on the agenda is now closed. Next is item 4, approval of minutes for the May 4th, 2022 Budget and Finance Committee meeting. Does any board members have any comments or corrections? Do I have a motion to approve?
Art Welch, approve.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Norco second.
Norco. So I have a motion from Art Welch and a second from Norco. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
City of Wildemar.
Aye.
City of Beaumont. City of Calamasa.
Do I abstain since I wasn't at your other meeting?
You can.
Okay, I will.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Hemet.
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore. City of Lake Elsinore.
I think he's trying, Joan.
Okay. You want to raise your hand?
I don't see it.
We'll come back. City of Norco.
Yes.
City of Temecula.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 5,
Yes.
and City of Lake Elsinore.
I just put abstain, Jim, because we can't,
Pardon?
maybe just put abstain.
Okay,
I don't think he can hear us.
so that's 6 affirmative, 2 abstentions.
Thank you. Next is item 5, cash flow projections, and Charlie Ramirez will present.
Thank you, Chair Moore, members of the committee. My name is Charlie Ramirez, Chief Financial Officer. As we wrap up fiscal year 2022 and make our way into fiscal year 2023, the agency is projected to maintain a strong cash position. We have either finalized or are in the process of finalizing many of our major fiscal year 2022 federal grants, which will provide an influx of cash over the next month or so. This will lead right into receiving our first allocation of local transportation funds for fiscal year 2023. Further, the success of the 25-cent fare promotion continues to provide a boost by way of LCTOP cash receipts. All of this while continuing to maintain our operating expenses and keeping them under budget. Therefore, I do not anticipate any cash flow issues for this reporting period. Thank you, and that completes my presentation.
And that is good news. Is there anyone that has any questions or comments for Charlie? Okay, hearing none, this is item 5 is received and filed. Next is item 6, quarterly capital status, and Charlie Ramirez will present.
All right. Can everybody see my screen?
No.
All right, well, I'll talk you through it. So here we are in June. It's time for our quarterly capital status, where we take a look at some of our accomplishments over the last 3 months, as well as a look ahead to the next 3. In terms of board authorizations and approvals, accomplishments in the March to May timeframe, the board did authorize an award to RCN Technologies for new fixed route bus routers and antennas. The bus router is really the central communication hub on our buses. It communicates with the many systems that our bus interacts with. It's been several years since our routers have been replaced, so this new router technology will provide improved communication in terms of efficiency and timeliness. The board also authorized an award to BWW for enhancements at 12 bus stop locations. This is part of our ongoing Associated Transit Improvement Program, whereas we swap out some of the older amenities in the network with the newer black framed powder coated shelter that you all have seen with the solar lighting and matching bench and trash can. The board participated in the groundbreaking for the Vine Street Mobility Hub in April. This was a monumentous occasion, many years in the making, kicking off ultimately what will become a very important hub to this agency's future service delivery plans in the greater Riverside area. And just last week, the board approved the FY23 capital budget. Approving the capital budget is one of the main functions of the board. It really lays the foundation for everything this agency does in terms of major capital projects. An outlook for June to August. We will seek board authorization to award a contract for emergency power generator replacements. This is going to help bring additional load capacity to some geographical areas within the facility, basically meaning that more of our staff will be able to remain online should we face blackouts. It will also upgrade the automatic transfer switch here in Riverside and put one in place in Hemet. And what that means is that when we do face blackouts, that the power and the generators will automatically come on without the need for any manual intervention. We will also seek board authorization to award a contract for new fare boxes with mobile capabilities. It's been about 20 years since the majority of our fare boxes were replaced. We attempted to kick off part of this project last year. Supply chain issues required us to shut it down, but we do plan to come back with a bigger and better project. And I'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute. Looking at vehicles accomplishments over the spring, substantial completion of the steel piston upgrade project and progress on the transmission overhauls. This was 2 separate projects that were greenlit by the board back in early 2021. The final steel piston upgrade, I believe, is taking place as we speak. Once that is complete, all 145 buses, Gillid buses, will have swapped out the aluminum pistons for the more sturdier steel. The transmission overhaul is a little bit more of a longer process. We've completed about 20 of the 114. This will increase as more of the mileage begins to ramp up on the Gilligs. The board did opt for the more cost-effective overhauls as opposed to outright replacement. We also completed the new replacement of the network video recorder system, NVR system on the 40-foot buses. Been several years since that system was replaced. This is the security and surveillance system on board our buses. So the new technology will give us an improved view onto what occurs on a day-to-day basis on our buses. As you may remember, we do have an order in for 35 brand new 40-foot CNG buses with Gillig. Staff did participate in a pre-production meeting over the spring that laid the foundation and the timeline for that bus build. It is expected to begin in November of this year with those buses slated for delivery in spring of 2023. The outlook for the summer, we do plan to kick off that project to replace the fare boxes with mobile capabilities on the fixed route buses. To expand on what I just discussed, so our current fare boxes can accept cash, coin, and our fare stock, our media stock, our card stock. We do have a mobile ticket provider, but it is a separate provider, which means that we have a separate piece of equipment that is affixed to our GFI fare boxes. Now, the two separate systems means that we have two separate reporting mechanisms that must be then merged back together for our month-end ridership reporting done here by staff. The new fare boxes that we are hoping to bring in here will not just accept cash, coin, in our current card stock. They will also accept loadable or smart cards. They will have a built-in mobile ticket validator or reader. They will also accept contactless credit and debit card payments directly, and they will even accept mobile wallets such as Apple and Google Pay. So many more payment options for our customers. Now that's in addition to the fact that it's going to be a unified system where all the reporting can be done from one cloud-based portal. And that's in addition to the improvements that our customers will see in terms of the customer experience and on-time performance. So a really big project that we are really looking forward to getting underway. We are also going to take the beginning steps towards a contracted fixed route and dial-a-ride vehicle procurement. We do anticipate that we're going to need about 30 of each of these vehicles in about 12 to 18 months. Some of these suppliers are facing supply chain issues and there are delays, especially with the building of the chassis. But again, we're starting this early and we do plan that we will have the vehicles when we need them. Jumping over to transit and operations facilities, accomplishments over the spring. After that groundbreaking, construction activities did commence at the Vine Street Hub. Grading on that site is just about complete. They are now turning their attention to some concrete items such as building the gutters, the sidewalks, connecting with the sewer, things like that. So well underway there. As mentioned last week, and you may remember a couple of months ago, we did receive a major federal award, a competitive award for the construction of hydrogen fueling stations at our Riverside and Hemet facilities. Two very important pieces to our zero emission bus rollout plan. This was called out to have these built before we started to move vehicles in. So well underway there. We also commenced the decommissioning of a Gemini CNG station. This was one of our first CNG stations built at the Riverside property. It has sparingly been used in recent years as the stations on the opposite side of the property are more prevalently used. We did disconnect the utilities from the Gemini station. We are now inventorying the equipment and we will move forward with disassembling that equipment. Ultimately, this might create a small space in our facility that can be used for other things, but that is yet to be determined yet. So more to come on that. Outlook for the summer, we do plan to replace the parking lot and bus yard lights in Hemet. They currently have the low sodium pressure lights. We will remove those, retrofit the fixtures and outfit them with LED lighting. In addition to providing better lighting, it will of course be more energy efficient. This project was actually completed in Riverside about 1.5 years ago. So now we're moving to Hemet. We do plan to issue an RFP to replace the facilities video system. This project has been kicked back a couple of times due to COVID. The current facility system is a little bit of a hodgepodge of cameras and systems being added over the years. We do want to have one unified cloud-based system with homogeneous equipment and cameras, possibly even adding in some new camera locations. So this will help us better protect our facility assets here in Riverside and Hemet. And lastly, we do plan to develop the scope of work for the architectural and engineering, the A&E, related to those hydrogen fueling stations. The A&E is expected to take place in calendar 2023, so ultimately construction can begin in calendar 2024. And that's all I have for my capital updates. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Does any board members have questions or comments? Or just come off mute if you're ready. Any comment? No? Okay, great. Those are great plans. A lot of work coming up to do. And so hearing none, item 6 is received and filed. Next is item 7, authorization to award agreement number C22-014 to MC Electric to replace the agency's emergency backup generators, and Melissa Blankenship will present.
I'm Melissa Blankenship, and I am the Director of Contracts for the agency. The item before you is authorization to award agreement number C22014 to MC Electric to replace the agency's emergency backup generators. One of the approved projects in the agency's capital budget is to upgrade the existing backup generators and the associated electrical infrastructure at both the Riverside and Hemet facility. The backup generator systems are critical to the agency and allow staff to continue operations in the event of a power failure, natural disaster, or other catastrophic event until local utilities can be restored. The focus of the project is to expand current capacity to provide emergency power for computers, emergency lighting, and communication equipment for operations, maintenance, the server rooms, the customer information center, and the entrance and exit gates. Also included in the project is the installation of automatic transfer switches at both facilities to automatically transfer to backup generator power in the event of a power outage. Riverside will have its existing automatic transfer switch upgraded, while Hemet will have a new automatic transfer switch installed and will no longer need to have an employee manually switch the facility over to generator power. Another upgrade is that the fuel tanks for the new generators will be 500 gallons compared to the current 100-gallon tanks and will last approximately 5 days at full demand versus 1 day with the current generators. In preparation for this project, on January 22nd, 2021, staff issued Statement of Qualifications, SOQ 21044, soliciting the services of an electrical engineering consulting firm to produce the technical specifications, CAD drawings, and electrical schematics for the backup generators project. On May 26, 2021, staff awarded a contract to Owen Group. The final plans and specifications were developed and approved by the cities of Riverside and Hemet. Therefore, on March 22, 2022, staff issued invitation for bids number C22014. The IFB was publicly advertised in a newspaper of general circulation, and a notice was posted on the agency's website along with a copy of the IFB document. The agency also sent notices of the contracting opportunity to the local chambers of commerce in cities that are members of the Joint Powers Agreement. On April 28, 2022, the agency received 2 bids from the following firms: MC Electric out of Chino, California, with a bid amount of $588,830, and R2B Engineering out of Laguna Hills, California, with a bid amount of $1,205,244. Staff reviewed the low bidder submittal to ensure compliance with the requirements of the IFB. Based on a thorough review, staff recommends awarding the contract to MC Electric, the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. The price is found to be fair and reasonable in comparison to the independent cost estimate, and all bids were received under full and open competition. In addition to the proposed amount, staff recommends the board authorize a 10% contingency of $58,883 to be utilized in the event of unforeseen circumstances. Such use would be subject to a future change order or amendment to the proposed contract if necessary. Sufficient funds to cover this request are included in the agency's board-approved capital budget. The funding profile is shown on page 11 of your agenda. Therefore, the recommendation before you today is to approve and recommend this item to the full board of directors for their consideration as follows. Authorize staff to award agreement C22014 to MC Electric to replace the agency's emergency backup generators in the amount of $588,830 with a 10% contingency of $58,883 for a total project amount of $647,713. Chair, that completes my presentation.
Thank you. Does anyone have any comments or questions for Melissa on this item?
This is Art Welch. I have one comment or one question.
Okay,
And I know of our professional level of our staff, but that is a significant, in my opinion, a significant difference in bidding. Were they all looking at the same profiles?
Yeah, Director, we did a bit of analysis and everything was broken down from materials to labors. I can tell you that of the $616,000 difference between the two bids, almost 70% of that came from overhead and fees and labor from the other contractor, not materials. So the bid sheet's broken down by labor, materials, bonds, insurance, just over general contractor fees. The other bidder just, to put it out there, just a general contractor fee, they're going to charge us $200,000 versus the MC Electric at, $30,000 for a contractor fee.
Okay.
So just their overhead, their fees were extremely high.
Okay, thank you.
Ted Hoffman.
Thank you. I kind of had the same question as Art did, and you answered that with you went line by line on this to ensure comparability. That makes sense. And the only other thing, have we ever used MC Electric before?
We have not, but we had 3 really strong references for them. They all came back very positive. All 3 companies would do business with them again. So everything checked out with them.
I appreciate that because it is quite a bit of difference in bid. So thank you.
Linda Krupa.
Yes, good presentation, Melissa. And my first question has been answered. My second is on the fuel, the emergency backup fuel for the generator. Is that gasoline or are we using CNG?
No, that is diesel.
Oh, it's diesel. Okay, just wondering about that, and I'm glad that you increased the size of the tank from 1 to 500 gallons, because you never know going into summer and what's going to be happening with our electric grill. So thank you so much, Melissa. Great presentation.
Actually, so piggyback on Linda's. So 500, is this concealed? Like, we don't want anyone to know that's really there. That much, diesel sitting there. Is it hidden?
Oh, the backup generators, their location?
The fuel.
Yeah. So they are behind. They're on site, but the one in Hemet will have a block wall around it, and the one here in Riverside will have some other kind of. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they're part of this project is cement work and making sure that they're in a secure location and they're protected.
Okay, great, thank you. Is there any other questions or comments? Okay. Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on this item? Okay, so we do need to make a motion. Do I have a motion to approve?
Norco moves to approve.
Norco?
Canyon
Lake second?
Yeah, that's fine.
Will the clerk please take roll call?
City of Wildemar,
Aye.
City of Beaumont,
Aye.
City of Calamasa,
Aye.
City of Canyon Lake,
Aye.
City of Hemet,
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore,
Aye.
City of Norco,
Yes.
City of Temecula,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Chair, that is 9 yeas, unanimous.
Thank you. Next is item 8, approve and adopt the agency's 2022 Transit Asset Management TAM Plan Update, and Jennifer Nguyen will present.
Good afternoon, Committee Chair Moore and committee members. My name is Jennifer Nguyen and I am the agency's Director of Planning. The item before you today is to approve and adopt the agency's 2022 Transit Asset Management or TAM Plan Update. On July 26, 2016, the Federal Transit Administration, or FTA, released its final rule to define the term state of good repair and to establish minimum federal requirements for transit asset management. These requirements apply to all recipients and subrecipients of federal funds that own, operate, or manage public transportation capital assets. The final rule requires public transportation providers to develop and implement TAM plans. On September 27th, 2018, the RTA Board of Directors approved the agency's initial TAM plan. The FTA requires agencies to update their TAM plans in its entirety at least once every 4 years. The TAM plan update has all the same components as the initial TAM plan. The focus of the TAM requirement is really to keep the grantee's transit operations running effectively by keeping our critical assets in a state of good repair. The assets covered by the agency's TAM plan include major infrastructure, equipment valued over $50,000 and all vehicles. Facilities that are operated by our revenue service contractors are also included per FTA requirements. The TAM plan update includes an inventory of facility, major equipment and vehicle assets, and a condition reassessment for each item. The FTA requires us to use the metrics to really drive prioritization of capital maintenance and or replacement, and again, to help maintain that state of good repair. The two primary metrics that are used in the TAM plan are the Transit Economic Requirements Model, or TERM, and Useful Life Benchmark, or ULB. The TERM metric is used for our infrastructure and equipment assets, and it scores them on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the assets in excellent condition, new, all the way down to 1 representing an asset in poor condition. Infrastructure assets that score lower than about a 2.5 would be prime candidates for upgrade and or replacement. On the other hand, we have the ULB metric, which is used for our vehicles. And each asset is assigned an expected service life in years based on the vehicle type or class. Vehicle assets that are close to their ULB would be prime candidates for upgrade and a replacement due to their age alone. The TAM plan really guides the agency's capital management decisions. The TAM plan update is compliant with all requirements of the final rule and is attached to your staff report. It should also be noted that prior to the FTA's TAM plan requirement, our own management policies and practices have essentially done for years what the FTA is now formally requiring. The TAM plan will be and is a living document that will be reevaluated and amended as needed based on our agency priorities, our plans, and resources. Any significant changes to the TAM plan, whether during our annual review or during the next 4-year update, will be brought to the board for consideration. There is no fiscal impact associated with this item. The recommendation before you today is to approve and recommend this item to the full board of directors for their consideration as follows. Approve and adopt the agency's TAM plan update to be effective on July 1st, 2022. Thank you, Committee Chair Moore. That completes my presentation.
Thank you. Are there any questions from committee members? Nope. Okay. Has the clerk received any requests to comment on this item?
Chair, I have not.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on this item? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Kenyon Lake.
Hold on a second.
Canyon Lake motion and Beaumont seconded. Will the clerk please take roll call vote?
City of Wildemar.
Aye.
City of Beaumont.
Aye.
City of Calamasa.
Aye.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Hemet.
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore.
Aye.
City of Norco.
Yes.
City of Temecula.
Yes.
County of Riverside, District 5.
Yes.
Chair, that is 9 yeas, unanimous.
Thank you, Joan. Next is item 9, board member comments. Does anyone have any comments?
I have one.
Okay.
I apologize to all of you for not getting to see your shining faces, but I heard the whole thing today, so that's good. But I'm not a computer guru, so I may have to go back and replug this thing in or something. Anyway, good
That's okay,
hearing. good hearing all of you.
We'll see you there. We'll see you next time. We'll see you in person at the board meeting too. Anyone else have any comments? Okay, next is item 10, announcements. Kristen, do you have any announcements?
Thank you, Chair. Just quickly, we missed seeing your shining face too, Art, but we can still hear your whistle, so don't worry. Just quickly, our 25-cent fair did end yesterday. It was very successful. We're working on a report that we'll bring as an update, hopefully to the board meeting later this month, so that we can let you all know how it went. Right now, youth and college is still free through the end of July, and then we pick up with the new LC Top Fair program. We can bring you an update on what all that entails as soon as we find out if we got that grant. They should be reviewing it right now. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Okay, next is item 11. The next meeting of the Board Budget and Finance Committee will be held on Wednesday, July 6, 2022 at 2 p.m. And next is item 12, meeting adjournment. The June 1st, 2022 Board Budget and Finance Committee meeting is adjourned at 2:31 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.